Welcome back to another episode of That Westfield Podcast. Today we are joined by Sabrina Mizerek of Sabrina Mizerek Interiors. It's a mouthful. For most people, it is. I'm sorry I have to butcher their beautiful French name, and I ain't going to do it. Welcome. I'm really excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So, yeah, we were some friends over the last month or so. How did we meet initially? Was it through Christina?
It was. I kept on seeing you everywhere, and I follow signs in general. I don't know. I saw you at Onable.
Oh no! I see.
Yeah. And that's when I introduced myself, and I'm like, I'm gonna talk to that.
She knows stuff. I find out what she knows. Yeah. Right. I only clicked instantly, and it's been really amazing getting to know you and about your business. It's super unique, and I'm pumped to tell her about it. So, a lot of people know like what your decorating design is, but you do something completely different, where you bring in feng shui and this like beautiful gift that you have to really make spaces not just feel like home, but like a place where you could be healthier, happier, and like all sorts of things come from feng shui. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll really get into the feng shui side of it.
Right. Well, you summed it up very well. It's the result of really a journey, the journey of my life, which was energy first and then decor. But they all came together in the last year where I'm like, this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. And I wasn't really in a position to do it before that. But this past year has been really, all right. You know, it never was there. So I studied feng shui first. It was Reiki and feng shui. After I had my child, I moved from Hoboken to Westfield. It was Reiki, and we had renovation going on in the house. So after we did the addition, it was a master bedroom on top of a kitchen and a bathroom. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Sabrina, you have such a gift. Why don't you do that?" And, yeah, and it was at a moment where I was going back to work. I was looking for, okay, what's my next step? What am I going to do? So, the flattery and the suggestion kept on coming, and then at some point I was like, all right, maybe design, maybe decor, but I would have to incorporate energy with it.
Right.
I just knew it.
Yeah.
Instinctively.
Yeah. Right.
So I did my research. I was like, what's out there? And I saw feng shui. I had never heard of it. I mean, I'm older, so it sounds like it's.
But you were doing it all again, right? And you didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I looked into it and I registered for a class. And as soon as I sat down, like, this is my business. This is what I'm going to do. And it's so me. So I studied feng shui. It took about 3 years. Became an advanced.
Wow. Exactly.
Yeah, because it's a whole year for. I mean, I'm sure there are different schools.
Right.
I practice classical feng shui, which is probably closer to the original feng shui. But there are a lot of different schools out there. The classical resonated with me because it's really the science of the time. Cool. So I started with feng shui, loved it immediately, and then I was doubtful with everything. Right. So, even though I was familiar with energy work, but then when I saw the results in people's homes, it was like, really? Or even in mine, then I started creating my business, and I had my own office, and I had my positioning, which I was completely oblivious. I was thinking about others rather than mine. And I had my teacher come to my house at some point. We were meeting for coffee. And she came in my office and she's like, what are you doing? Like, did you see your dad? We checked yet? And I'm like, oh, sure. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to shift from doing things that everybody wants to do for so long to the better half.
Yes. But you know what it was? It was that I wasn't ready. So subconsciously, I wasn't ready to have my business, to be successful at it, and to welcome client. So as soon as I shifted did what I was supposed to do, I received.
That.
Yeah, all of it.
That's such an important lesson in business that people don't understand. Right? They have a lot of imposter syndrome, or they feel like, why me? Like, I can't do this, or you're not ready. I need to do these 5 days first before I do like these next 5 days. And sometimes that's true, but most of it is just our mind kind of holding us back.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's alignment with yourself and it's alignment with your environment. So feng shui helps with that. I've seen it in clients and people at the time. And then life took me into the furniture industry.
Yeah.
So I spent almost a decade doing custom furniture.
Wow.
Custom rugs and putting floor plans together, which I had learned with feng shui because we draw floor plans ourselves.
Right.
And then we apply the bagua to it. We'll talk about this maybe later. But so I learned more about decorating, wallpaper, window treatment, furniture, what it's made of. I developed, knowledge, a solid knowledge about it. So this year was bringing it all together. And
there you are. Well, it's funny. So I'm actually doing your website, and so I've seen your portfolio and I've seen your work, and it's just so beautiful. And like when I was building it out, looking at these pictures, and I just felt calm. Like, I was looking at it, I'm like, this room is so nice. I wish this room was in my house so I could just sit and be relaxed in it. And just the way like you use the light, right? The light coming into the room, or the way things are positioned. And I don't know anything about feng shui, but you can just tell by looking at your work that there is like so much good intention behind it. And it's different than just looking pretty. Like I feel like you can feel it with your heart. Oh, if that makes sense. Because I do see other designers and their work is beautiful. It's like, okay, that looks nice and it's clean and it's aesthetic. But there's something about yours that just feels like it's just so complete. And so like, what is that? Like what's an example like in a bedroom, right? So I heard of like, you shouldn't sleep facing a certain way, right? And that's like, give people some kind of context as to something you might do in a bedroom.
So there's a lot in what you just said. So the first is intentionality. So, a lot of designers will talk about intentional aesthetics, and we do that with, decor, furniture, art, everything that you put into a room. But with feng shui, that's a step further. So it's intentional in aesthetics, but it's also intentional in aligning what those areas represent with what you love.
Okay.
So the piece that you like, which maybe, let's take, for example, I'll go back to the bedroom.
Okay.
Let's take, for example, the love area.
Right.
And you have a piece of art that is a woman by herself. It's a beautiful piece that you like, and it's in your bedroom or in your love area and in the love sector. And it's something that you see every single day. And we're talking about mindset and subconscious mind that impacts you and the way your life will, right? So it's intentional in the fact that you put things where they belong with the right symbols. For other reasons than just subconsciously also.
Right. What's an example of something you've seen that wasn't good that you changed in somebody's home or office?
Oh, a lot of things. In a bedroom, like you were talking about before, the worst is to have an armoire with mirrors everywhere that are reflecting your bed.
Oh.
I've seen that recently. And some people are, resistant to change, so they may not want to change it. But I know the impact it has if I look at a compass and where I see the bedroom is located, the impact it's going to have on that person. And, this example in particular was someone that I know that has cancer.
Wow.
I'm not saying that, yes,
Right.
just that, but the role of a mirror is that it's going to double that energy. So when you're sleeping, to have the reflection of your body, in that mirror is, when you sleep, your toxins are released. You're relaxed. You need to feel safe and secure. So the position of the bed in the bedroom needs to be in a power position,
Right.
which means that the door, any entry to that room, you need to be able to see it without having to turn around or to be startled in the middle of the night.
Right. Never sleep like with their head towards the door.
Right, exactly.
What are some other similar like concepts in feng shui like that people may not think that are a big deal, but maybe could be back in them? Maybe kitchen, like random rooms, bathrooms.
Yeah, well, in an office, for example, having your office, your desk, facing like here, facing the doors that are coming, you're in control, you're in command. So, for example, if we go back to the example that I had when I created my own business and I wasn't applying it for myself, if you're facing the door, or if you're facing a wall, for example, and the door is behind you, then in order to receive potential clients, or potential offers for whatever business line you're in, you're sending the message that you're turning it back to them,
right?
So you're not welcoming the opportunities,
right? So I would never want this desk to be facing this way with my
exactly
that way, right?
exactly.
So like where you come from either side now, like
so maybe if you have to angle your desk so that you could see all the points of entry,
right?
And it's funny because now even in restaurants, wherever I go, I'm gonna.
You must be crazy. You must be like,
when we're in a group, I'm like, no, I'm sitting.
That's why I see you do. It's funny. So people don't. There's people who are more sensitive to things in life, and people who are not. And I think like when you're more like, I don't know if I should use the word weekend, or like you just think on a different frequency, right? And you and I are these people. Like I used to not be. I used to not be affected by anything as a child. We don't really think about it. You're like, oh, like you go out and party and lights and noise and chaos, and you're okay in it. But as you get older and you become wiser, you become sensitive to things like that. And so I think people who understand this get it, right? They understand what you're talking about because they're like, I've experienced things, and sometimes you just don't know what's causing it. And to think like, we were talking about ley lines before, and I could not sleep in a certain place for a very long time, for over a year. And I was like, why can't I sleep here? This is craziness. And then I found out that it was on ley lines like a year later. And I was like, who would ever think about that? And someone mentioned it to me, and I looked it up, and it's like, I did everything else. Like, but these energetic places are, and if you want to explain, like, acupuncture side of it, like acupuncture for the home, and like, if you want to explain that to people.
Yeah, well, I always say that acupuncture, feng shui is like acupuncture for the home, for the space, because you do release those blocks, and there are meridians in the earth that are alive, that are moving. And, it's funny because in certain points that need to be treated, I almost brought my rods today.
I have mine are kind of crappy, but I used to have them. I couldn't get them to work.
No,
but next time,
yeah. So you'll always find something that's indicative in nature of a point that needs to be looked at.
Right.
It could be an accumulation of ants on the floor.
Really?
Yeah. If all the ants are coming to that point, that's something that I would look at.
What is that? I would think that's mold.
That's mold.
Yeah, like moisture or something like that.
It could be that there's a lot of different things that could be the reason why, but basically the rods will tell you where you need to go. It's fascinating.
Right.
The first few times that I did it, there's always something also that happens when you're done. So you start the process, you worked on those ley lines, where there are blocks, really.
Right.
So where, just like in the body, there may be blocks there that need to be released. So when you end, there's a sign in nature. There's something that comes about. It could be a bird singing at that time.
Right.
That wasn't singing before.
Full circle.
Yeah. Or the sunlight that shines right on that spot.
Right. Yeah, I think that's hard for people to understand unless they've like experienced decluttering or like a relief for like a completion. I think of it as like you're college and you finish your exam and you're just like, oh, like if these sponges are stressing about something, and then you feel like 100% relief, it's so hard to have that as an adult because we're always so stressed. If there's any way to incorporate that into your life through these practices, especially within your home, I mean, how much time do we spend in our houses? Most of us, it's definitely, especially since COVID, right? Yeah, working out in order, like, is that something you've seen an influx in since working from home? Like, people are probably stressed so much with their focus and their energy.
There's a lot there too. I mean, after COVID, we in design, the open floor plan has like, hasn't been, and I love it too. But the problem with that is that now you're working from home more, even if you went back to work. But a lot of people still cohabitate, and in feng shui itself, we don't commingle situations. Okay. So an office, it should be your own office. You let, maybe not a bedroom.
Right. But people who like they have a room, like say you're staying in a hotel on your desk and you're working at a desk.
Exactly.
Right there.
If you don't want to workout equipment in your bedroom.
Right.
You don't want your office in your bedroom. So you don't mix activities right around your room. They need to be dedicated. But,
in that sense.
Yeah. So
what's an example, like what that does to someone? Like, will that make them more tired or just like not breathing, on the abundance?
Well, it's the focus, really. You're not focusing on the act that needs in the present time, the present moment. Right? What is this room for? Bedroom is for romance.
Right.
It's for relaxation. It's for rejuvenation. It's for subconsciously clearing everything that happens, accumulated throughout the day. So if, you see, it could be electronics, it could be your phone, the EMFs, everything that is distracting to the act that you're performing now. It's always being in the moment. We always talk about Zen really is being in the moment. It's the same thing with the idea of having only one activity in one space is you're dedicated to that activity, whatever it is. So if it's work, you don't want distractions.
It's like people's houses have ADHD.
Wisdom is very simple in a way. It's just nothing that I'm saying is out of this.
No, or also
makes sense. Everything makes sense.
Right, but yeah, I think it comes down to people that are like open to this stuff too. And we've had like Caroline Patterson on, years and her is great. And, I think until you experience the power of energy and what it can do for you, even in something as simple as how your home is set up, like it's so powerful. And I think a lot of us just don't tap into it for a certain amount of time, or we're too busy and don't think about it until you kind of either forced to or something happens in life. I know you had mentioned that you wanted to sort of move away from Holyoke and you came to Westfield after 9/11 because it was such an impactful time for you, and you want to create space, open space, like we have better airflow for better air, and it's like things happen to us, right, and it impacts us. So that's kind of what makes us look at it.
Well, we know that nature in general is good for our mental health, for our spiritual life, for our well-being. And it's something that is easy to experience. If you're frustrated, let's say you're working here in this space and it's not going your way, going outside in your backyard and just, our bodies know what is good for us. And that's what I love about feng shui. It's really the studying of three elements: the earth, we live on it, our bodies, us as human beings, and the universe.
Right.
So all of it, all those three have energies. How do they interact with each other? So when you study a house or a dwelling, whether it's professional or residential, you basically look at that. You look at the energy of that space, its location. So you look at the outside also, what's the land formation? How is it supported? It's like a box. When the house is built or a building is built, it's like a box at a particular time. And then as soon as you put the roof on top or the lid on top, it encapsulates that energy. So that's the house energy.
I love that.
And then you bring yourself in that box and you have your own energy. Well, in a certain way, we're born with a birth year, a number of elements that correspond to us only. And it's the interaction of your own energy, which you have 4 species direction, 4 inner species direction, and the house also. How do they interact with each other, right?
So is that, like, it's funny, it's like I've lived in probably 5 or 6 different places in my life, and like nothing felt like home originally, right? And I remember, like, we had such a great house growing up, and like moving to like apartments and things over the years, like it just always feels off. Like, I feel off, like I feel my home is great, but like it doesn't feel like home, right? I think it's really felt like that space. So I can kind of understand where it's like, some people, like, they love their apartment and they never really house and they never want to leave, right? Because something just probably clicks for them in that space. That's cool.
Yeah, and sometimes a house also teaches you certain things. So, well, for example, like if you pay attention to certain things, which if you don't know, you don't know,
right?
But once you start studying it, then it makes sense. For example, a home that's facing a certain direction. So I'm just going to give an example.
Right.
For example, when I was moving by myself to a new house at some point in my life, the front door was in the southwest.
Okay.
And the polarity, the opposite side, was the northeast.
Mm-hmm.
The southwest is love and relationship, which was what I wanted in my life.
Mm-hmm.
The northeast is inner knowledge. They nod to each other. So where the house sits, not the facing, but the back of the house is what the house is about.
Right.
So northeast was self-knowledge and self-development, inner knowledge.
How do you make compass? Yeah, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to what the back of my house is doing right now, right? Or this is live in action. Feng shui practice. Okay.
So you would go to this, what we would estimate to be the center of your house. Put the compass direction. Let's pretend we're at the center of your house. So it will be facing this way, which is it looks like it's west.
Yeah.
More than southwest.
Okay. What does west mean?
West is no, west is hobbies. It's childlike energy.
Interesting.
Yeah, the element is metal.
Mm-hmm.
So the energy is on the decline, but the more introspective side of things.
Overfishing? So you say
yes, it's your but that would be the house, not you personally.
Okay.
So then we'd have to study.
I don't know. Right. So that make the front of the house more east.
So east is east is really the expansion of the energy. It's when the sun rises in the east. So it's the beginning of all things. It's represented by the wind, by trees, and extensive element is wood.
It's quick. I know. I don't my long body work. I'll just have to hire. I figure out all things. But I thought, again, as you become like older and wiser, you start to learn stuff about yourself and in your environment. It's like, these things are just fascinating. It's a puzzle piece, right?
Yeah.
Hard learning about your journey and who you are and why things may not exactly be going your way or how we can make things better. And I'm being saying, buy a house. How do you decide where to live? You must go crazy.
So I'll tell you, when I sold my house, I had told my realtor it needs to be a number that equals 8.
Right.
She was going crazy.
I may have done it by phone number. So I really also you not talking. But 8, the life path number, like yeah, that's my life path number. Is 8.
Oh really?
Yes. Yeah. Supposedly I'm gonna be very rich, so we will see.
Well, you're taking all the steps, but maybe I can help you achieve that.
Yeah, so if fix my feng shui in my crazy podcast. Yeah. Well, tell everyone. I mean, we can obviously talk forever, but tell everyone where they find you, your Instagram, your website, how they get in touch with you, and how they work with you.
So it's very easy. I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram, Sabrina Mizerek Interiors. I'm on the website that is coming up very soon. by yours truly. SabrinaMizerekInteriors.com. And we both of them have my contact information.
So maybe we just call you, right?
Yeah, just call me, send me an email.
You kind of do like an evaluation or an analysis of some.
Yeah, so we get to talk first about what you want, because some people want interior full design. We'll edit that. Some people want full decorating service only. They don't want feng shui. Other people want just feng shui. And other people want both of them. So we'll get to have a conversation, talk about what you want, what your needs are. And then I come to the house and we have a little more of a conversation. And then I evaluate things. Even when I do just decor, one of the most important things of feng shui is the furniture placement. I always incorporate that.
Right.
That's the minimum.
Right.
So yes, we would have a conversation. We would have a conversation, and then we would take it from there. Then evaluate the amount of work needed and where do we start. If it's feng shui, perhaps we'll tell
the house will tell you. So if people give you any size shop, right? They want to do one or two rooms or their entire house, work.
Not small or too big.
Done both. Yeah, done both. Yeah, very cool. Yeah. And as you're talking, I'm thinking so many people need this, and they're struggling, and they're just in a different season of life, and they want to do something different.
Yeah,
and feel good about their space. We all want to feel good about our home, but I think if we can take it to the next level, it's just why not?
Yeah,
do it.
Exactly. I mean, you want it to look good, but you want it to feel good, and to feel good so that you're the best of yourself can come out of that.
Yes, we all need to be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have the feng shui in the afternoon. The find out what's going on with my personality. Sabrina, thank you so much. This is really informative.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really cool getting to know you. And guys, fix Sabrina on call. Reach out to her. I keep saying people who are having babies, nurseries like that that would be the first thing I would call importance. I want to bring my baby into a nice peaceful environment. That's a great place to start. And I love doing them too. Offices you said are your favorite too. So for all the entrepreneurs out there, get rid of the chaos. Call Sabrina. And so much. Please, aiming for that.